where we are.
Yep.
Just like, oh, I had a good idea. Nope, it's gone.
Yeah, I had thoughts.
That's right. I had a thought once. Where we are.
Yep.
Just
Oh, please. I don't think I ever had a thought.
Twitch and YouTube. Well, I've certainly never had a good thought. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's retweet this stuff. Okay, I got... we don't need show notes yet.
Maybe you don't.
Got my games I played here. Got my notebook. My handy-dandy notebook. Oh, man. Gosh.
Oh! I watched a bunch of the Hot Ones videos.
Oh, okay.
The what?
Those are all good times.
The Hot Ones.
The wing-eating
show? You don't know what the Hot Ones is?
No, I don't.
Yeah, this guy...
Basically, it's a celebrity interview, except the interview takes place while eating steadily increasing spicy hot wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am aware of that. I just have never watched it.
Yeah.
I heard of it years ago and never thought about it
usually
again.
Pretty good.
It's genuinely hilarious watching people lose their ever-loving mind because they can't deal with the spices. Yeah. And as an Englishman whose favorite spice is mayonnaise, right. I can relate.
Right.
Because I couldn't handle the spices that they put on that show.
Yeah.
So seeing Tom Holland crying and running laps around the room is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
The best thing for me for hot spicy stuff was when someone was like, "Oh, hey, you know how capsaicin does this to your tongue and stuff so that it registers the heat, but if you take menthol, it should cancel that out."
Mm-hmm.
What this idiot found out was that
taste buds.
Yep, capsaicin only does it to this type. Menthol does it to this type. So then you get a response back saying, "Hey, you guys know what hellfire tastes like?"
How about hot and cold at the same time, you moron.
Good job, you invented ice fire. Thanks, Satan. Man. All right. Are you guys ready to start?
Yes, sir.
Oh, maybe. I guess.
Probably. Sort of. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpeer.
Hi.
And the Nymph.
Hello.
Patreon.com/ excuse me, E1M1.
The ones be numbers. I'm a pirate today.
Please don't pirate our Patreon content. That would be pretty rude. But you can support us financially over the Patreon. Get cool behind the scenes stuff like our Outcast every week, where you have an uncensored look at what we're watching, reading, listening to, kind of all of our non-video game stuff, and whatever home-related nightmares are going on in our lives. That's usually a common through line. Some sort of home ownership discovery / nightmare. You get that. That comes out every week. You get 2-week early access to We Roguelike It, show where Moon and I play every roguelike in history. You get early access to Critical Misses, show where Moon and I are catching up on all the hits we've missed across all types of media. Season 12, episode 1 is in the can now. It's a hot hour and a half, with just only going to get longer. So if you want to get early access to that, the $5 tier is the recommended one. That gets you everything. That's only $5 a month, not $5 per episode. It's a good deal, and you help us pay for the show, which we'll talk about here at the end of the show. Patreon.com/ E1M1.
The ones are numbers.
We probably have a pretty packed episode. This episode is, at the very least, we do have a pretty packed second segment. So let's get into it. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
I'm still in the Citadel.
Okay.
I don't even have to tell you anything else. That pretty much sums up that experience. I'm still in the Citadel.
I've saved the Rachni.
Oh.
You know what the most annoying thing about being in the Citadel is?
It's like purgatory.
It's when you walk it around and you see all of those stupid keepers and you can't do nothing Because you still haven't talked to the guy who gives you the scan to keep his mission.
Because it doesn't happen until like halfway through the game.
Like, I hate you so much because now I'm going to have to come and find you all over again.
Yep. Oh,
The
man.
Stupid four-legged, four-armed monstrosities that traitors to all alien species.
Did you at least remember how fast travel works now?
Yes, I did. I found the stupid little time cop looking teleporting thing. It looks like the thing from Time Cop that goes into the red dot.
Mhm.
Can't make too many references because Boston hasn't seen that movie, probably.
I've seen... No, but maybe I saw that. I don't remember. Who remembers? I'm 40. Leave me alone.
People with functioning brains.
That's not me. What's up? Who are you guys?
But no, I mean, it's fine. Whatever. I'm still on the Citadel. I'm crawling my way to it as best as I can. I may or may not have thrown 5 grenades in the Citadel because I'm an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
I still do that as well.
I
Reloading is not a
wait.
thing in this game.
No.
Because then it's gonna screw us when we make it to 2 and 3 and we keep going to reload or throw a grenade.
But the funny thing is, I don't get me wrong, I really do love the first Mass Effect. This is allowing me to see its weaknesses.
Mm.
Because I think Mass Effect 1 is a great game. It's not perfect. I think that probably belongs to 2, with the exception of planet scanning, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah, 2's so good.
Not to mention 2 has arguably one of the greatest intros in any video game period ever. End of discussion.
It's also very good.
So, honestly, at this point, I'm just using 1 to get to 2. I have a question, Nimp. You said you saved the Rachni.
Correct.
Did you save the Rachni while being a renegade?
I did, because the choices that I was picking sounded renegade, but I still got 24 Paragon points. And I was like, what the heck is this?
I'm freeing them to use them as a weapon.
Well, exactly. I had a very good renegade reason for keeping them.
Right.
And then it still gave me Paragon points.
Come on, blackmail. That's
pretty much. Yeah. But somehow that made me the good person, even though I shot and killed an entire base to get to the Rachni Queen, and then threatened her. And I said, okay, but I will be calling you later.
Right. You're chaotic good. So you're a little bit good, but very, very chaotic.
You may be a parasitic insect that can take over everybody on a planet in no time flat. However, you're my bee. This is my cell phone number. If I call,
I got a job for you.
Yeah. I don't care if you're doing karaoke. I don't care if you're in school. If I call, you answer. That was a Tokyo Drift reference for everybody who is curious. I picked that one up. So, yeah, it's Legendary Edition. It's fine. So how many squad mates do you have now, Nim? Because I forgot how long I'm stuck with those 2 human idiots.
I have 3. Rex, Tally, and Garrus.
So you have 5, technically speaking.
Well, 5, yeah, and the 2 humans that we're not talking about.
The squabbling siblings.
I will tell you, if it was an option to leave both of them at this point that you and I are thinking about, I would have done so happily.
Why don't both of you go check out this explodey thing over there? Anyway, see ya.
You go support him to make sure he comes back. And I will make sure that we don't leave. And then as soon as I walk on the normal, he's like, wrap up, let's go.
That's right.
You need to do covering fire while he manually activates it. And then Rex will be watching you from afar with a sniper rifle just to make sure.
Right.
And if you're confused, just look up the YouTube video.
Right. Oh, man.
But you can't do that now because YouTube removed downvotes, so therefore you don't know what's the good tutorials and the bad tutorials. So then, they're just going to blow everything up twice as fast.
Fine, just space tube, whatever you want to call it.
That's right.
It's called the Codex. Where is the Codex?
That's right. That's right.
Just look up the manufacturer and click on their download PDF owner manual. And
that's right.
The amount of times I've done that in my workplace is insane.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. I played a whole bunch more Rainbow Six Extraction with my boys. Played a fair bit with Justin this week too.
Mm-hmm.
Shockingly enough, putting in work as a solid member of the team instead of just bait this time. So
Speaking of, go over there and check out that explodey thing.
Like, Justin, do not walk through that door. Justin, do not walk through that door. Just stand right here, stay perfectly still, and do nothing. Thank you.
Just walking myself right through this door. What's going on, guys?
My favorite one is when he goes the guy who turns invisible and then immediately activates his invisibility, and that's got like a 3-minute cooldown on it.
Wow.
Everything's going perfectly to plan.
If Justin could Austin Powers his way into success, he will.
That's right.
It's the key to take away from all of this.
Right.
He's just going to do it the way he feels like doing it, and that's fine. So we had a good time. We made a bunch of progress. Thermite was complaining about being in cold again because somebody else unlocked that. I don't know. It's fine. I unlocked another set of 3 operators, but I don't really know how good Tachanka is going to be when the whole point of the game is to go stealthy and his special ability is to set up a mounted machine gun turret.
I was going to say, to get loud as possible.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I'm sure we'll succeed every mission with a Tachanka in because, Lord and Savior and that kind of jazz.
Right.
But I don't know. We'll see.
To be fair, they can't hear you if there is just one noise blocking out all noises.
Oh, you take the white noise effect where you just keep it at that certain volume long enough and you can't hear anything else.
I take that effect and the other one of no one can report seeing you if no one's alive.
That's right. The Hitman maneuver.
Yes. Nobody saw me do it because everybody did.
That's right.
But no, Rainbow Six continues to be a surprisingly fun little game to jump into and play it for a couple of hours, jump out of it, don't think about it for a while. Play it for a couple of hours, jump out of it, don't think about it for a while. I may or may not be thinking about how I'm supposed to get every single squadmate operator. There we go. Up to level 10 for an achievement. Thanks, Rainbow Six.
Oh boy, that's a lot.
It's honestly, it seems like a lot, but even on the lowest difficulty setting, we're jumping 2 levels if you do a full 3 stack, like a full 3 objective completions.
That's not that bad.
And then the more people there are, the more objectives there are to do, so the more XP there is to earn during those objectives. So then therefore you get. So it's building pretty quick. I think Rob's got a level 7 dock now, which is kind of crazy.
Nice.
But hey, it works. We're having fun playing it. And now we're at the point where we're unlocking those sweet, sweet skins.
Oh,
ain't paying money for it, by the way.
Please.
Screw them skins. And if any of them have the 3 letters that ends with a T that involved in it.
AT&T, that's right. Let's talk about monopolies.
Yes. Damn right. Strike down Monopoly, says the dude who
non-fungible telecom. I'm so sorry.
I hate you so much. I'm gonna veto that as a title straight away.
Yeah, I don't want any of the NFT SEO around this show.
I didn't write it down.
That one will be for me.
Yes, just for you.
I'll tuck that away and giggle about it over the next week.
Which I suppose is the whole point of NFTs, is they're just for you.
Heyo! JSON files.
Okay. I also played the Falconeer.
Oh, yeah, I've always been interested in this.
I was always curious about it, and then I got a message from TA saying it was leaving Game Pass in 12 days. So, of course, I had to start it.
Yep.
It's only been installed for a year, so now I have to actually start it.
Right.
Oh, what was the Panzer Dragoon game that was open world, Boston?
The one on the Saturn?
Was that the one that was also a JRPG at the same time?
Panzer Dragoon Zwei? Or no, that's Panzer Dragoon Saga, the JRPG.
Okay, so we think Zwei might be the open world one?
Yeah, maybe.
Sure. I only know of Orta. That's it.
You're right.
Yeah, Panzer Dragoon, German word. One of those is the open world one.
Einhander, right.
Drakengard.
That's right.
I would kill for a Panzer Dragoon Drakengard game. I'm just saying.
It would be really good, yeah.
But Falconeer is it's kind of like an open world Panzer Dragoon game.
So it's like an
Except-
open world on rails shootery thing?
No, it's got the same kind of. So who remembers the joy of Crimson Dragon?
Oh boy, do I.
I was actually going to say, is this going to be like the PS4 Dragon game that came out?
Yoko Taro's Crimson Dragon.
Hey, Crimson Dragon was a pretty solid game.
Crimson Dragon was okay.
Minus all of the microtransaction BS.
Yeah.
It was fine. That is more on rails, whereas this is very much an open world game. It's like okay, let's start with the bad first and foremost.
Sure.
Zero tutorial.
Great.
Zero guidance as to what the open world nature of the game means.
Okay.
Controls are questionable.
Oh, great.
You're not riding dragons, it's eagles.
Okay.
Well, sure, it's
Falcons,
eagles.
Technically.
I was gonna say.
Technically because,
Nim's like,
they called this the Eagler.
all I know is every time I'm flying around, I'm just looking for Sam and Frodo. I don't care about anything else. I'm looking for two little hobbits.
That's right. God, you just made like one subset of nerds so angry. The movie should have ended. I swear to. Yeah.
Dude, we've already hit the NFT crowd. Let's hit the Lord of the Rings crowd too.
That's right.
Guess what? Tolkien was an okay writer at best. That's all I have to say about that.
He really loved his details.
Then hate mail too.
He loved his details about a hill of grass.
Right.
He really hated his details about the war that's going on the other side of that hill.
It's fine.
Grass is more interesting than war.
Yeah.
True. Kind of. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. Falconeer seems okay so far. Like, okay being the key word here. Not good, not great, not bad, not terrible. It seems okay. The aiming mechanics on the game are forward-facing only.
Okay.
So it's basically like a slowed-down flight combat game because your guns only aim forwards. It's not like
okay,
where you can paint and release.
Right.
Playing Apache.
Right.
I don't know what that is.
It's a helicopter video game that came out on like the Sega Genesis.
You're playing Apache, not Res.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Not Res is the thing I was thinking of.
Right.
Like, you don't do the paint and release. You do the pull the right trigger. The Elite Dangerous dots exist in this game, Nymph, where it's like the shoot here to actually do damage, and that dot is like way in front of the enemy kind of thing.
Yeah.
That whole thing exists. You fire using pots, which tickles me to no end. Every time like you need to reload, you fly through a lightning storm to charge up your lightning pots or your fire pots.
Okay.
Putting some footage of the Falconeer on the live stream here.
It looks pretty good at the same time. Like, it seems to look good. There's some it's like, oh, if you need health, go find a fish and eat a fish. And I was like, okay, but fish are not marked on the map.
Oh, well.
Wow, so, that is a really big map.
Yeah, it's huge. Like, ridiculously big. It's like Waterworld if giant falcons had taken over instead of the smokers. Like,
now that's a movie.
Yes, mix the end of Lord of the Rings with Waterworld, and that's roughly where you are. But there's like dueling houses and the civilians and other people with falcons trying to kill you, and
so it's like a dog fighting game, an open world dog fighting falcon game.
Yes,
Crimson Skies, right?
Yes, you mean Feathered Skies? Thank you very much.
Hey,
but it's got like a whole bunch of like warring houses, like Game of Thrones, where factions are arguing over each other, and there's political and all kinds of stuff going on. It's just like
some machinations.
Okay. Yeah, but it just feels part of like a linear story in the way it does it. And I'm watching this video that you have on the stream for it, and in no way have I ever felt that skillful.
Okay, so they're putting on a good show here for the Falcon.
Yeah, this feels like a mouse kind of game, which I'm playing with a controller. Yeah, there's stores you can upgrade and stuff you can unlock on the map, but like
pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, so far it seems fine.
Right.
I did, however, hear a whole bunch of ambient civilian voices are from Liverpool, which
okay.
tickles me every time my native accent is a game, because it's like,
Yeah.
no one's going to understand what you're saying, random civilian.
No.
Like, no one's going to get it. His accent wasn't too bad, though. I could just hear the slight kick of it, and I was like, okay, fine, maybe that will do okay.
That's my people.
Whatever. I'm playing the Falconeer. I have like 10 days to beat it. Whatever. I don't really care if I do. How shocked is that coming out of my mouth? But I don't.
I was going to say, glowing review from Moonpier. Put it on the box. I don't care if I finish it, period.
I don't care because I have to leave for work an hour early every day because I have to dig my car out of snow.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to leave that game till last, which means that my other game I want to talk about here is, and I'm assuming this is the most recent one, it gets hard to track with these games, Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz.
I think that's the one on the Switch?
Yes, I also believe it is on everything else.
Oh, okay. I believe that's the most recent.
But I did not play any of the single-player games.
Okay.
Banana Mania, maybe? Who knows?
I'll look it up.
Whatever this is. Yeah, it's Banana Mania.
Banana Mania. Fun to say.
Oh boy, is this a Super Monkey Ball game. Because I didn't play the single-player stuff at all. I only did the party games, which led me to go way back in my memory banks to the Nintendo GameCube days and realize that maybe the best ever bowling and mini golf game I've ever played is Super Monkey Balls.
Okay.
Because if you've never played the bowling and mini golf games in Super Monkey Ball, then
They're
you're
very
missing out.
Good. It's
real good.
Do you remember the those side missions in Crazy Taxi, like the bowling ones and stuff like that, where it's like, why are these this fun? That doesn't make sense. Very much like the
where you had to drift the taxi into the pins.
Yeah, and it's very much the same thing with Super Monkey Ball, where it's like, this shouldn't be this fun, but these are really good. What's happening here?
Yeah, and like it's helpful that like they use the same basic mechanics as every other bowling and mini golf game that's ever existed, except they seem to have pretty much nailed them. Like I did get hit at one point and said, "Why are you so good at this bowling game if you haven't played it before / since the GameCube days?" And it's like, because it's a bowling game in a video game.
Yeah,
I have played this a million times.
It's like modern golf games. They're all kind of be the same.
But it was fine. Like it's shockingly quick loading on the Switch. Like credit where it's due, that thing loads super quick.
That's the good part about flash memory.
Yeah, that is true. But I mean, I put too many hours into the first Monkey Ball. I'm sure many other people here did. I got up to those levels where it's like a pixel wide and you have to like do S's around corners with a pixel wide like platform.
Right.
Oh, you mean the levels where you just stand up and say, "I'm an adult, I don't need to do this anymore."
Those type of levels. In fact, the same type of levels that are being shown on the stream right now with a giant comb going over the actual level.
I'm 30 or 40 years old and I don't have time for this.
Yes. But even when I was a child, I didn't have time for it. I was just like, okay, cool. I was obsessed with doing that. Speaking of pixel wide levels that go all the way around, I was a big fan of trying to figure out those shortcuts where you manipulate the level to get as much speed as you can and then do the little kick and give yourself a huge jump in the air.
Yeah, you like flick yourself off the edge.
Like stuff like that was always cool. And I don't know, maybe I'm just a sucker for it because in my heady high school days, I put way too much time into Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah. I don't know. I think part of Monkey Ball's appeal for me has always been after playing for like 2 or 3 minutes, you kind of, those are the controls. Like, it's not really throwing anything new at you regularly. Like, the levels are very different, of course, but you kind of know how to play it right out of the gate.
And like the mini games have continued to be incredible. Like they're still just as perfect as they were at the time. You can play original, you can play stupid, like you can play bowling with an S-shaped wiggly lane. Like, sure, why not?
Nice. That's great.
Like, let's go full crazy just for fun. The Joy-Con is not a good way to control that game. I want it noted on the record that I despise the Joy-Cons with a hearty passion.
Can you control it? Are you talking about like using the gyroscope to control it, or just the buttons?
The Joy-Cons themselves, like no gyroscope, just
the
actual
button
stick
control.
itself. I do not like that stick at all.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, those Joy-Con sticks remind me a lot of the Vita sticks.
Yes. Yep.
It's too low, too nubbiny for me to feel like I get the full range. So I don't know. I'll probably have to buy an Xbox controller adapter or something to play it and enjoy it. We'll see.
The Pro Controller. Yeah, the Pro Controller is really good.
Yeah, but I also have like 9 Xbox controllers.
Yeah, I mean, the worst part about the Pro Controller is it feels like it's a smidge too expensive, especially when you're like looking at all these PS4, PS5, and Xbox controllers. We're like, but I have them already. Like, I got this thing.
Well, and then you can buy those, and I can't remember off the top of my head who makes them, but that third-party Pro Controller, where they're like $34.
Hori makes
the Hori, that's what it was.
Yeah,
those are really good, and they're like $34.
Yeah, they're
just
cheap.
Don't have Rumble.
They're real good.
Yeah. I don't care about Rumble. Rumble is turning off Rumble is good for my arthritis at this point because I'm I wish I wasn't getting this old, but certain games when it rumbles too much, it legitimately hurts my hand and
it hurts my fingers.
Rumble.
I am also in the same boat.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
It's the worst because like this is how old I am. Good to know.
Also, like, we've been doing this show for 15 years. I appreciate we finally gotten to the point where, like, my hands hurt. No.
Yeah.
It's been a good ride.
It has. But no, I mean,
you
if
guys
you
don't want to play Icarus on the 3DS is what I'm hearing.
Oh, God.
No.
My fingers. Oh, man.
Definitely no. But no, I mean, Super Monkey Ball, like I said, I just did the mini games and they feel exactly as I remember them feeling.
Nice.
Which means they probably feel just as good, if not better, than the originals.
Right.
Which is good. I will probably attempt some of the single player at some point, but not right now because I don't have the wherewithal for that.
You don't feel like punishing yourself at the moment?
No, not at all. But my final game this week, because I needed something cute, because I needed something stupid.
Uh-oh.
Because I needed something simple.
Uh-huh.
I started Pupperazzi.
Pupperazzi.
Okay. Which is a great name for a game that's very strange.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put a video of this on the stream just so people can see what this thing is.
You have to take photos of ducks. That is literally the one-sentence summation of this game.
Yep.
As you load into each level, you'll get given a bunch of missions like, hey, take a photo of a dog wearing a hat. Or, hey, take a photo of a confused dog or a sleepy dog or a surprised dog. And you have to Pokemon Snap your way around. It's not linear like Pokemon Snap, but you have to like figure out what's in the environment you can use to complete those missions.
Right.
Negative number 1. You only get 9 photos every time you load into a map.
Like there's only 9 like photos on your roll, essentially.
Yeah, 9 photos in that reel of film. And to reload it, from what I've seen so far, you have to load back into the map.
Oh, weird. Sorry, I'm laughing because of the super extendo arm for petting the dogs is really good. That's the sort of weirdness that I really like.
It gets even better.
I was going to say, you see what you are?
Yep, because there's a selfie option.
Oh, no.
Which, by the way, you have to like complete these missions and share these photos to the social media for the dogs, and you have to please people. And all of the people giving you missions are actually dogs with jobs, essentially. So, like, one of them's like one of them is a hardcore motorcyclist dog, and he was like, "Show me a dog on a scooter driving safely." The dogs don't drive safely on the scooters; they just, drive scooters and crash into everything. But you just take a photo of them, whatever. I did have to take a photo of Tony Bark doing a trick, which was a dog and a half pipe for those curious.
Uh-huh. Like it.
It was horrifically punny.
Yeah.
And so I made enough progression to unlock the selfie lens.
Oh boy.
You're a giant camera with legs.
Great. That's perfect.
So when you take a selfie, it's just a giant camera
Mm-hmm.
with a slight Dutch tilt on it for like the selfie angle.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have to ask, is he taking his eyeball off to turn it around and take a photo of himself?
You're asking a good question.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
Like, he looks creepy. Like, weird kids' TV show nightmare fuel kind of creepy.
Oh, the best kind.
I don't know. The game seems really fine so far. It's kind of very cute. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. Seems like it's kind of an easy, not an easy,
It's
but
chillaxing kind of game.
yeah, like a chill puzzle game.
Yeah, which is kind of exactly what I'm looking for with this, because it's just like I just needed something where I didn't have to think, where I
Right.
could just go in and then realize I used up all my film in the first 2 seconds of being in a level, and then I need to reload back into the level again. because I
Dog,
only
dog,
have
dog,
9
click, click,
photos.
click, click, click.
Yes, there is a Puppypedia.
Yes, great. Mm-hmm.
Which tracks all of the states and breeds that you've collected. So
Mhm.
sleeping, surprised, dachshund, whatever. It's fun.
It's yeah.
It's weird. It's stupid. So far it seems pretty short, but that's fine. That's exactly what I'm looking for, considering one of the games on my list is like 90 hours long. Like, that's fine. Give me the shorter experiences. I will be happy with that.
Right.
There are humans, or human morphs, I believe they're called,
Okay.
which is basically just robots.
Okay.
I don't know, dude. The game is weird.
I appreciate a game that is cute and weird at the same time. That's a hard balance to strike.
Yeah, and like I've got a fisheye lens now, and I can ride a skateboard. So if I wanted to do a 6 skateboarding photo shoot, I could.
Nice.
I don't know. Game is fine. It's
Yeah.
cute, it's dumb, and if it wasn't for that limit on photographs, I would say throw your kid in front of this and just have a good time.
Right.
But
right.
because it's like, you only take 9 photos. It's
Right.
like, why 9? Why not just give me 1,000, 1,000,000, and then just let me take my photos to my heart's
Where's my
content?
open world option? Where's my kid
So
difficulty?
annoying. Yeah. Story. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing this week. Nim, tell me about your zombie experiences.
Don't have any this week, but I did beat.
Except for your shit.
Yes, I did beat Carrion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Man, is that a great game?
Yeah.
I got lost at the end and had to actually look up a guide to be like, how do I beat this game? Not because there was some hard gatekeeping boss or anything, but because I literally couldn't figure out where I needed to go.
Yeah.
Was it one of the things where you needed to, like, I think you needed to shut down one of the reactors or something like that? I mean, like...
No, there was a save point that I had missed that just blended in with everything, which prevented me from being able to open the last little iris for all you Stargate fans out there.
Right.
Prevented me from opening the iris to get through the last door, which then would bring me into the last area.
Okay.
So I had to look up a guide, or basically a map, and I was like, all right, these are all the save points in the area. I didn't get this one, and it's just because it happened to be an extremely dark area, so I couldn't tell that there was a spot there for it. So I got that. Got the back end story of Carrion, which that's kind of sad and crappy.
Right.
And then I just unleashed plague on the entire world.
Nice.
And that made me happy.
Yep.
but not as happy as, did you guys realize that there is a DLC that came out for this?
I did
called
not.
The Greatest Time of the Year Xmas Special.
Oh my.
Are you literally just killing Santa?
No, I haven't. I mean, maybe I haven't gotten very far into it. I literally just was like, okay, let's see what this is since I beat the main game. So far, it looks like you're in an Arctic base, and there are Christmas like streams of Christmas lights up every once in a while. And you start out this DLC with your full complement of powers, and you're just tearing through stuff.
Great.
And I've only done like the first area just to kind of check it out and see what it was all about. I'm like, cool, it's more Carrions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
No. We already talked about Mass Effect, so I will talk about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Okay.
We have instigated a house rule of no items,
Okay.
Things getting a little too spicy.
random maps, and random characters.
I like it.
Oh, the double random. Okay.
Yeah, I like a double random.
So far, it has worked out really well. It has led to me playing characters that I hate, such as Ness and what's his name, Oliver from Pikmin.
Oh, right.
I think absolutely hate that character in Smash. No, I can play a pretty mean Zelda.
Yeah.
I hate her. I don't know how she is in the new game, but I hated her transforming between Sheik and Zelda version of herself that she had.
Right.
They stopped that and they made Zelda her own character and Sheik her own character.
Oh,
so they don't transform anymore. I think they did that back in the GameCube version was when they separated them.
No,
I'm not positive. Yeah.
If Monkey has taught me anything, it's don't open my mouth about Smash.
I mean, I'll talk about Smash all day.
We got literally everything wrong about Smash a couple weeks ago. It was pretty impressive.
Like a leading authority until Monkey says something in Discord. I'm like, huh, okay, cool, and then just completely ignore it.
That's right.
But yeah, I have gotten a lot better at playing Smash now. I can hold my own against my son. It annoys him to no end.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
See,
go ahead.
The thing that I always used to love about Smash was just the bizarreness of the items and trying to figure out every item that they had.
I like the items a lot too.
Because like when they introduced the Pokeballs and it was just like, wait, there's Pokeballs, and you just throw them out and see what Pokemon randomly appeared. It was like, okay, this is kind of sick. I kind of like this.
My issue with the items was getting back into it because I haven't played it in years. My son would just grab every item and there would just be a ton of stuff going at once, and I'm still here trying to remember how to jump.
Oh, that's fair.
It wasn't really helping me relearn the controls to just have Smash be Smash.
Right. Here's an R-Wing. Someone's got a hammer.
Eventually, I will loosen up and allow items back in, but I still like the random map, random characters, because that lets us kind of go through and try everything out and see everything. Because there's still like a bunch of characters that he hasn't really played. Because there's like 58 characters in this one or something?
There's so many.
Yeah.
There's a bajillion. Come on.
Yeah. So there's still a bunch of characters that he hasn't tried yet. But yeah, it's really fun. I've got my Smash legs again, so I'm starting to figure it out.
Nice.
We're pulling pretty even.
Smash leg sounds like you were out on a pub crawl.
I mean, who says I wasn't?
That's right.
Bro.
But yeah, I think the last time that we had played, we did 3 rounds, and I won 2 out of the 3.
Oh, nice.
So now he's going back to training. And that's and that's kind of the reason why I was keeping it at random too, because it's great that you're really good, with your main character.
Right.
But let's just see what these other characters do.
How are you at Jigglypuff?
He played as Bowser for the first time, and he doesn't normally play as a slow character, like a slow heavy character.
Right.
So it was throwing him off, and that was around the time that I was playing as Ness, and I just absolutely hate that character. But like, I was messing him up with PK Lightning, which annoyed him because between PK Fire and PK Lightning, I was able to just keep throwing him around, and then he did manage to beat me with Bowser. But then throughout the day, I would just hear him in the house yell at me, PK Thunder!
Right.
just being a kid.
Right.
The next game that I played, Dreamscaper.
Dreamscaper? Yes,
Dreamscaper. This came to Game Pass this past week. I will give you a warning. It's not a bad warning or anything. It's just
okay. I was like, well, I'm going to put it on the stream here. So
if you're one of those people, because the way they do the character designs, characters or people don't have faces. They're just blank.
Right.
Like there's not even like the form of a nose or, sockets or anything. It's just a blank face, and their hands are like together, kind of like a blob. Mm-hmm. So if you kind of have an issue with that, just know that
if Slenderman was your biggest fear.
Right, yeah, if that stuff creeps you out. Yeah.
I've only played the first level of this. They do an interesting thing where the whole point is that when your character falls asleep, you go into your dream world, and this is where you do, your RPG battling in these arena segments. Mm-hmm. You got the square map where, hey, you clear out this little arena, you move on to the next one, you clear that out. Oh, you got a key. Now you can open up the pathway to this other arena, and you just keep going around until you find the boss of that area, and then you fight the boss. The first boss that you fight is a giant fish in the water. You do not fight them underwater. You are on top of the water, and there's mines, like old battleship mines that are in there. And what you have to do is you have to activate the mine as it's coming by, blow up. It'll knock it out of the water, and then you can run up and attack it. And the boss goes through its different phases of attacks, and then you eventually take it out, and then you earn just like your cred for beating a boss, and then you can continue on to the next area. Keeping with the dream theme, when you die in this, you lose your... Yeah, exactly. You wake up. And there's stuff in the world for you to do, so that way you can earn, like, crafting ideas and stuff like that that you can bring back into the dream world with you.
So between runs, there's some level of permanence.
Correct.
Right. So one might say that this might be a game that we would like.
Absolutely, because I picked this game up because it said it was based off of JRPGs. So I started playing it, and I'm like, some elements of this feel kind of roguish. And then I really read it and found out that it's a roguelike, and automatically this game sucks, and I uninstalled it from my Xbox.
How dare you?
No, I'm kidding. It's still there. But
I think Late Elf on the Discord server mentioned this a couple days ago, saying that he was checking it out too. So I think he was recommending it for We Roguelike It.
We already decided on our next game, didn't we?
Yes, we have.
I don't know what it is.
Crown Trick.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am not very far into this. I only did like the first area just to kind of check it out. It looks great. It plays great. My favorite thing is that one of the weapons that you can get, because the weapons are randomly generated. When I first started, I was given a baseball bat. And when you do a heavy attack, you basically do a home run, a home run smash. The thing that made me giggle really hard is that if you hit an enemy with your heavy and they are next to something, they will bounce off of that and come back to you. And if you time it right, you can just keep home running, smashing them into things.
Great.
And then they bounce back, and then you just hit them right back into it, and you just kind of juggle them that way. So,
nice.
But they also have a thing with during your attacks or your dodges, your character will flash, and if you continue attacking, with the rhythm kind of thing, you do extra damage or whatever. You also unlock, or you also find spells. There was one spell that I found that it was basically just like a one-hit punch. There was another one where it like iced everything, which was interesting. You also have the ability to, I don't remember what they called it, but you basically stop time. It's like bullet time.
Okay.
For like a brief moment, everything just slows down, and you can run around and hit a bunch of stuff. So it's been pretty interesting. Oh yeah,
it looks really cool.
Sorry, in the trailer, once you've beaten a boss, if you have to rerun or if you leave or whatever to restart the run, you can skip that boss and just continue to the next area. You don't have to keep refighting them.
Oh, interesting.
It's just that it gives you a warning saying that it doesn't count towards, I don't know, some trial timing thing or something.
Oh, right.
Not anything that I care about. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks really cool. It's got a cool style. It looks like it's Looks like it's pretty snappy.
Yeah, I mean, it was really fun. It handled really well. So yeah, the Dreamscaper, check it out. It's pretty interesting.
That's cool.
The next game that I played, Voice of Cards Dragon Isle Roars.
Did you start playing it after the surprise news this morning?
So yes and no.
Okay. Or
I've
this
been
week,
playing this off and on.
Okay.
I just haven't really been talking about it because I haven't really done I've done stuff in game, but nothing really worth mentioning.
So for anyone that hasn't, if anyone hasn't seen the news this week, Square Enix announced coming in like a week and a half. There's a sequel.
February 17th.
Yeah, there's a sequel to Voice of Cards, and I was like, oh yeah, you're putting out DLC. Nope, it's a brand new sequel like 6 months after the previous one came out. They're like, yep, Yoko Taro and team, they're putting out a second one. It's like, okay, I'm glad that it has been this successful. That is really great. We could get a sequel to Dungeon Encounters too. That would be really great while you're at it.
Really has my hopes up that we're getting another Dungeon Encounters.
Ditto. I would like that very badly.
So yes, with this announcement, I'm like, all right, let me look up a guide to see where exactly I am in this game. It's like, do I even have the ability to beat this before the second one comes out? This game is actually not that long. It's I beat the game in 13 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, no, to do everything and to get the platinum or all the achievements or whatever you're playing this on, everyone puts it at roughly 15 hours.
Oh, that's still not that bad either.
Yeah. So I was on chapter 5, and there's 7 chapters altogether. 5 and 6 are longer than the other chapters by a little bit, just because there's a lot more dungeon exploring in those 2 chapters than in any of the other ones. So I get through all of that. I get the last character who guess what his name is?
I don't know.
Leo.
Bruno.
Great.
Which,
real good.
If you haven't heard our Outcasts lately.
That's right.
Yeah.
Kanto is a big hit with the kids.
Yeah. So I have all the characters now. I go through, I get to the final boss, and the final boss sucks.
Great.
What, the JRPG final boss sucks?
Yeah. It's either they're the worst or it's just a cakewalk.
Yeah. And it's not the most egregious boss fight I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's just the thing that makes it suck the most is that you have to go into an area, and before you go in there, it tells you, hey, we are deactivating autosaving and saving, and you cannot leave this dungeon. Are you sure you want to go?
Oh my god.
Make sure to hit no and save right there. And then go down.
Barf.
Because you will fight the boss. You will fight the boss again.
Great.
You will fight the boss again.
God.
You will fight the boss again.
Uh-huh.
And then you'll fight the boss again.
Oh god.
Yeah.
It's Final Fantasy 13 all over again.
And it's none of it's hard.
Right.
It's just not knowing. There are segments of the boss, like it segments out, and it's actually really cool. Like they do a lot of cool stuff with the art and the table during this boss fight. It's really awesome looking. And this is the first enemy that's segmented out to different cards.
Oh,
like
that's cool.
If any of you guys are into Yu-Gi-Oh! And what is it, that Terror God card or whatever that has like the head, the 2 arms, and the 2 legs and the body or something like that.
So like all the cards together put the monster together.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at.
That's
and
cool.
It's really cool. It's just that you don't realize the order that you need to take everything out in. You can technically just, take out one card and it's like, oh, you beat the game.
Right.
The problem is that one of the cards heals everything. The other card, curses your entire party, and this, that, and the other. This card revives people, and it's so you have to figure out kind of the proper order, or else you're just gonna have a bad day.
Yeah.
But once I figured, it only took me 2 attempts.
Oh, nice.
To actually beat it. It was just the slog of having to go back through the original forms again, which kind of sucked.
Right.
But yeah, you get in Yoko Taro fashion, you get a lot of backstory about bad things that have been happening.
Mm-hmm.
and then you start connecting the dots, and then he just kind of forces it down your throat, and then you're like,
no.
wow, this is horrible. And then you get to the end of the game, and there's been a lot of horrible decisions that have been made.
Oh boy. Yoko Taro.
Yes. And so I beat the game.
Nice.
And it's really awesome. It does have a New Game Plus.
Okay.
All of your stuff does carry over into New Game Plus. So
Nice.
if you missed anything, just restart, carry on your way.
Right.
Max level is 30. Which,
okay, that's not bad.
When you, well, and the funny thing is too, when you get to the final area, they just start throwing like hard hitting enemies at you who just start like barfing experience points at you.
Oh, okay.
And when you do finally beat the final boss, you get 9,999 experience and 9,999 gold.
Great.
So it's kind of just that extra shove into the level.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a really good game. I really liked it, and I am glad that it was successful enough to get a sequel.
Yeah, that's exciting.
I am looking forward to playing that, and I'm also glad that it is fairly short. So I don't have to worry about playing 30 more hours of this game right now.
Yeah, and I think it had a couple of small DLC packs that came out for it too. Not like the costumes and stuff. Did it have any? I think it had like side quests and things.
I don't think it did.
Oh, maybe it's just costumes and like card backs and tabletops.
Mostly, yeah, it was because I know there was the pre-order that you got for changing everybody into a Nier character.
Right.
You got the different dice set. You got the beginner dice and table set. You had the different tables that you can get. So
background music and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I only kind of glossed through all that stuff. So maybe there is a side pack DLC that I just didn't notice out of everything.
Yeah, or maybe like you just did it as a side quest while you're playing or something.
Yeah, didn't realize it.
Yeah.
So because I had such a great time with that game, and because I really want there to be another Dungeon Encounters game, I decided to finally check out Labyrinth of Touhou, Gensokyo, and the Heaven-Piercing Tree.
Okay.
Let me tell you some crap. I'm playing this on...
Start with that title, by the way.
Exactly. I am playing this on Steam right now. I have no clue how I came across this game at some point. It was just a game title that I had in my sticky notes on my phone. I'm guessing I found it by accident when I was looking around at Dungeon Encounter stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this game is, from what I'm understanding, based on either another anime game series or another anime series called Touhou something or other.
Like the Touhou project is very big and wide-reaching, and I'm know like maybe 1% about it.
I know absolutely nothing about it.
Yeah.
So, which everyone has said, hey, if you don't know anything, that's fine. That's not what you play this game for. I'm like, great.
Right. I love to hear it.
Yeah. So, this game has a lot of stuff going for it. I'm only 4 hours into this, and I'm still trying to remember what things do.
Okay.
So this is the opposite of Dungeon Encounters.
Okay.
Your maps in the dungeon are circles, and then you have like the little junction points. They'll let you know, hey, you can go left, right, or center, or whatever. This game does something that I consider to be a negative, where the map isn't cardinal direction up, down, left, right. It's a skewed by an angle.
It's the diagonals.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. So
I hate it.
If you're playing on a keyboard, it doesn't work very well to remember.
Yeah.
I also can't get the analog stick on my Xbox controller to work with Steam with this game because it doesn't fully support it. So I just have to use the directional pad.
It's got it all.
Yeah. So this game, unlike Dungeon Encounters, which I'm going to reference it a lot, this game is all about the stats. So you have your HP, magic, so on and so forth. When you go into an area, your characters also have a TP gauge at the bottom. Every time you have a battle, it takes off a point from that TP gauge, and it fully heals the HP of your character.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to worry about HP. MP in the middle of battle, you can do a thing called concentrate. Character earns back a certain amount of MP, or you can go into the menus and do rest, and it will use up a certain amount of TP for each character, depending on what they need to heal HP and MP.
Okay.
When your character runs out of TP in the game, they leave the dungeon.
Oh, wow. They just
straight up leave.
Peace.
They just say left the party. Now, they don't leave you forever. All you have to do is just leave the dungeon, go back to the hub world, you have them again.
Oh,
it's just for your current run, you no longer have them if you
Right.
wish to continue.
They're exhausted or whatever, and they
Exactly.
leave the dungeon. Right.
The idea behind the game is that eventually you go in there and you have your front line of 4, you have a reserve line of 4, and then you have another reserve line of 4. So you're going into the dungeon with 12 characters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You do not have that many characters. I still don't have 12. I have like 10 right now. You find these characters throughout the dungeon. They'll have something random for you to do for them, or they will just tell you, I'm not interested in joining you or whatever. But if you do a thing, you get a character, add them to your roster, so on and so on. The thing that has made this interesting is that when you start the game, you can do what they call a hardcore mode.
Oh, no.
What this does is it makes it so that you cannot over level past whatever boss is on that floor.
The Lost Odyssey rule.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there are multiple bosses on floors that you can do, but like say there's like a level 2 boss and you hit level 2, you will still gain experience. You will not level up past 2, however.
That's interesting. Okay.
And then when you beat that boss, then you can level up.
Okay, but only to like where the next boss is.
Correct. So you're
That's
not
interesting.
losing anything. It just adds to the challenge of it.
All right.
There are ways around this though, because back in the home or the hub area, any money that you've earned, you can put that money into character stats. So if you're just having a really hard time with a boss and you can't level up anymore, you can just dump a ton of money into whatever that character works with, magic attack, physical attack, whatever, to help increase their strength that way and to help just give you that little push to beat the boss.
Right.
Kind of like the draw system, the draw and play system from Final 8.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have also, I did not choose that option.
Right. Good call.
Because I was like, well, let me play this game normally and see how this plays. And there is already it gives a fair amount of challenge just playing it normally. I have not, if I wanted to, I could grind out so that my characters are higher than any of the bosses, but usually just walking around fighting things, you get right about the level where the boss is at, and then I try them, and it's like, okay, yeah, I won, or I didn't win, whatever. So I'm playing normally, and there are several things you can do in this game, which is I enjoy that there's all these options, but right now in the beginning, I hate that there's all these options. So with the leveling system, you can choose to level up characters individually or just have everyone who can level up at once. Those are options that you can select. I keep everyone, just if you can level up, I just do it all at once.
Right.
Once they level up, they earn points that you can put into their stats. And then they also earn another, I don't remember what it's called, but they earn another set of points that you can start putting into skills. Like their attack skills or skills that increase their magic or their MP or whatever. So there's a bunch of stuff that you can level up into these characters. There's a ton of bars in this game.
Yeah.
Which, that's going to be a problem. But the great thing about this is that if you die, you don't lose anything. It just kicks you back to the hub world. Your characters are already good to go. They're fully healed and everything. So you can just save, try again.
That's not bad.
I have also heard a lot of people compare this to Etrian Odyssey.
Yeah, I was sort of getting some with the more. We were talking about this on Pup yesterday about, if you don't like Etrian Odyssey because of its complexity, but you kind of like the gist of it, you might really like Dungeon Encounters because it's a very focused experience that isn't about the traps and the tricks and the big bosses. It's about mapping a dungeon and fighting.
Yep.
But this looks like it's closer to Etrian Odyssey.
Yes, this has, what do they call them? The FOEs.
Yes, the FOEs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. They have these in it. So what that is you will see as you're walking around, there's just a monster that's just on fire.
Yeah.
And if you get close to them, they will start to chase you to a certain point, and then they'll disengage. And of course, they are not anything that you should be messing with immediately. You just kind of run around and stuff and level up to get to them. But you cannot run away from them. So if they do catch you, if you can't beat them, they're just going to kill you.
Right, you're just going to go back
to the start. Yeah, which, again, isn't an issue. It's just kind of the whole time suck of, could you just hurry up and kill my characters? Because I know I'm not going to win against you.
Right.
But yeah, and that's basically the grind. Once you get enough characters, you're supposed to go through and start rotating out your front row so that way they can heal in the background, therefore increasing your time in the dungeon so that you can keep exploring, you can keep finding other allies or characters to fight with, you can keep finding items, and you just keep leveling your characters up, and that's it. And that's all I really wanted with this.
Yeah, this kind of looks cool. We're watching this this kind of live stream footage here on the stream, and I don't know, this looks pretty neat. I like how they're displaying the map here. I like that they have an encounter rate that increases every time you take a step. I think that's kind of neat.
You can also, if you want to just grind, you can just hit a button and you just go up to a 200% encounter rate, so that way your next step you're always hitting an encounter.
That's smart.
There isn't an opposite to that.
So, okay.
But whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know what's going on in the story because I started reading it and then I kind of got to the point of I don't care. So then I just started tapping through a bunch of stuff, and then I ended up in the dungeon. I'm like, this is what I'm here for. So, yeah, it's been really fun. Like I'll have it on one screen. I'll have something like some video or movie playing on the other screen, and I'm just watching a movie, running around killing stuff, or getting my butt kicked, depending on how far in I went and wasn't paying attention. So
yeah, this looks cool. It's Labyrinth of Touhou, Gensokyo, and the Heaven-Piercing Tree.
Yeah. It's, what is it, $29 on Steam normally.
Okay.
So it's not horribly expensive either. But yeah.
Yeah, I think so far it's only on Steam at the moment.
That's what I was trying to look up too, because I'm like, I don't know if it's on anything else. I don't think it is.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing this week.
All right, okay, so we talked about cat related mobile games last week, and we were talking about Meow Tower, which continues to be great. Okay. We also mentioned Kitty Cat Tycoon last week. Spent some time playing it this week. This is one of my rare, absolutely avoid sorts of video games. This is probably one of the greediest mobile games I've seen in a really, really long time. It's a real bummer because the core of the game, I think, is really solid. So essentially, there are these cats that live in these houses, and your job is to make them furniture. And each, going through this like conveyor belt through this factory, each room does a different thing. So like a raw log comes out, the first station chops it, the next station sort of refines it into something, but it has, it needs to be sanded down. The next section sands down, paints it, puts fabric on it, et cetera, as it kind of bounces down this factory. So it's a really cool idea because as you keep upgrading each one of these rooms, the thing you're outputting not only earns you more money, but it looks cooler. I think that's really interesting. You have managers for each room that help gain you more money and automate things. So instead of having to tap this one thing as it goes through, you're automating each one of these rooms. Where this gets really bad, and the reason why I stopped playing it, is At the top of your screen, you have missions. And after X number of missions, you go to the next level, and you'll be making the next piece of furniture for this house. There's two bad things about this. One is, when you go to the next level, you start back from the beginning. So it's just raw logs going in and getting shipped, and you're building each one of the individual rooms. That in and of itself isn't that bad, but for each level you progress, your managers have to gain a level to keep their room automated. You gain levels by pulling cards from loot boxes. Also inherently not that bad. Because they give you like free loot boxes and stuff pretty generously. And when you complete a mission, sometimes they'll just be like, well, here's 10 pulls on a loot box just for free. Where it gets really bad is every time you clear a mission, you see an ad. Every time you want to, like, there's like a floating balloon that will drop money. Anytime you want to claim that, that's an ad. If you finish 2 or 3 or 5 missions all at once, that's 2 or 3 or 5 ads that you're watching just to claim these missions. At every turn, it just seems like it has its hand out in like a pretty blatant way that not a lot of solid mobile games do nowadays. And the hand that it has out says, well, you could keep watching these ads, or you could join the VIP program, which I was enjoying the game, so I said, let's check out the VIP program. And it's like, well, you remove all ads. You get double coin bonuses forever. You can get like 4 or 5 or 6 other bonuses for just the one-time price of $30.
I thought you were going to say like 100.
30! Now, like, 10 or 15 bucks, you could probably get me, and I'll be like, all right, I'm enjoying it. Like, we'll get all these bonuses. No, $30! $30! That's so much. So I uninstalled it. Like, I feel like if you're going to stick with this game for a really long time, it seems like there's an incredible amount of content. I played it a lot this week, and I finished like half of the furniture in the first house, and I kept paging, and there's like 10 other houses with 10 pieces of furniture in them. So if you're really going to stick with it, maybe the $30 isn't that bad, but I just feel like there's this... I like idle games a lot, and I like the progression, and this one felt really good, but it's just constant battering you with ads.
Yeah.
It felt really rough. Like, I'll just go play Soda Dungeon 2. Like, that's a really great version of this that I can go play instead. Or, if you're looking for a really good idle game that has a lot of depth in it, it's called Not a Hero. It's kind of like an idle game RPG, but it definitely does not have its hand out the whole time, being like, boy, this game would be a lot more fun if you just paid like $45. I also tried like some Space Tycoon idle game, but I uninstalled that one too because the icon for like remove ads and the icon for like buy boosts were shimmering the whole time, so they always like had that shine on them like there's something new, and it's like, come on, man, like you don't need to do this. So I uninstalled that too. I'll find another great idle game at some point. I kind of feel like I'm in the mood for a good idle game, but all of them seem like they're kind of at that level of like holding out their hand and be like, money. Like, after, if you pay this money, it'll turn out to be fun. And it's not really what I'm looking for. Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Big shout outs to Pink Gorilla. I actually won a giveaway, and they sent me a brand new copy of Pokemon Legends Arceus. If anyone's taking issues with how I'm pronouncing Arceus, and you think it's pronounced differently, you and Nintendo are incorrect. So this is exactly what it looks like. This is a semi-open world Pokemon game. I'm still firmly in the tutorial. I think I've played like 2 or so hours, and I am right there at the beginning. I know this isn't what Pokemon games are, but again, I would very much like an I'm an adult option of just like, here's the controller picture with all the buttons on it. Skip the first 4 hours of this game, please.
Yeah.
But I am not the target market. I realize that. It's okay. I will get through it. I literally do not care about any of the story at the beginning of this game. Essentially, you and your smartphone fall out of a rift in the sky, and everybody's like, "What are you wearing? What's that thing you're holding? You can catch Pokemon?" So it's pretty standard stuff. You know, the stuff that happens to all of us.
It's Metal Gear Survivamon?
Yes, perfect. Yep. But it feels pretty good to play even when you're in the tutorial stuff, because you pull the right trigger and you get a reticle on the screen and you're holding a Pokeball and you aim it at a Pokemon and you chuck it at that thing and it scoops up that Pokemon. You can also, in surprising, hilarious fashion, because you're not supposed to get close to the Pokemon, because a lot of times they'll get skittish and run away. To fight another Pokemon, you take one of the Pokemon you already have in a ball and yeet it at the enemy, and if they crash into each other, then a standard Pokemon battle begins. Which I picked Rowlet, the cute owl, as my starter. So I'm just like,
that was going to be my question.
Yeah, I'm just like chucking this dude across the plains to go fight a Bidoof. Like, this is it's wild. So far, it seems pretty good. I passed the test to join the like team that's in this village, and the test was, yo, go out and catch 3 different Pokemon, to which everyone was aghast. It's impossible. It's never been done. So I went and did it. Of course, Pokemon games. But
you might be the chosen one.
I just might be. I don't want to get too full of myself, but things are looking good. They introduced dodge rolling. They introduced hiding in like tall grass to kind of sneak up on a Pokemon to catch them for some of the especially skittish Pokemon. I haven't played that much because my copy came in late on Friday. And thankfully it's a kid-friendly game, so I can just play it whenever. And my daughter is a big fan of Pikachu, who she calls Chickaboo, which is painfully cute. So that's been a big selling point. But so far it seems really good. It seems to run okay. There's some choppiness. It doesn't run as poorly as SMT5 does, which we can all be thankful for. But so far it seems pretty good. I'm waiting for the moment when it kind of takes off the training wheels and I can go out and start kind of exploring the area and kind of catching and fighting all this stuff as freely as I want to, which I feel like it's getting pretty close to, because it's sort of. Go ahead.
It didn't take my son that long to get to that point.
Okay.
Because he's at that point where he can ride a Pokemon now.
Whoa, that's awesome. I didn't know that. That's great.
There's weird stuff with, like, as an outsider walking through a living room with this on the TV, there was this area for some reason that he walked into and everything was like all purple.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but like the Pokemon were really aggressive, and I was asking him about it and he ran out of there. And I guess once you've crossed the line in or out of this thing, it was really funny because he had a bunch of Pokemon chasing him. He ran out and they all ran into the barrier.
Okay.
and just kind of bounced off it, and it was
That's
really
great.
funny.
It's like a real MMO moment where it's like you're just kiting all these Pokemon across this zone.
But they could still attack him because he was being all snarky about it, and one of them actually hit him with an attack. It's like, oh,
that's not fair. No. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so far it seems pretty good. I know a lot of people feel really positively about it. It looks good. It runs pretty well. It's got the the Pokemon style, but kind of in 3D. So far it seems really good. I don't really have any I don't have any real kind of super positive and negatives about it other than the tutorial. But if you're playing a Pokemon game in 2022, is that you kind of know that it's going to hold your hand way too much for the first couple of hours, but that's I'm not the target market, so I'm not super upset about that.
There's also a ton of side quests in there too. My son showed them to me.
Yeah, like seeing some people on Twitter say this game has a real leave the hinterlands thing, where it's like just get out of the first area. There are a million. just keep moving. You can come back. Don't worry. So I'm excited to play more about it. I usually take Pokemon games. Number one, I usually only finish about half of a Pokemon game, and I'm okay with that. And I usually take it pretty slowly to get to that point. So I'm kind of curious to play it up until the point where I can catch the cute sheep thing, and then kind of put the game down and be like, yeah, I did what I came here to do. So we'll see where that. Yeah. Catch a cute sheep.
Didn't know you were from Wales.
That's wow. My last game here, just a real quick thing, closing the loop on last week. Destiny 2, I did solo the Pit of Heresy this week. So I have. Thank you. I have finished.
Commiserations, whichever one is more applicable.
Maybe a little bit of both. Yeah. It was a 2-hour run. And my successful run on the final boss, it took 4 damage phases and took about a half an hour alone to just beat that final boss. So that's definitely the hardest of the dungeons to solo. So of course that's the one I did first. I have now successfully gotten that title, Harbinger, which is a very cool.
That's my phone. Sorry.
That's okay. That's a very cool title in Destiny. It's also my 22nd title in Destiny 2, which is too high of a number. There'll be a bunch.
I ain't saying nothing.
There'll be a bunch more
asking for help.
Couple weeks. No, that's really like the last one that I really needed to do, because there's like 2 PvP ones that I'm not going to get, and there's like 2 or 3 raid ones. We're like working on one of them. We probably won't ever get the other 2. So it's like the last like single player or 3-person title that I really needed until the 22nd when the new expansion releases, and then there'll probably be like 3 or 4 more for me to go chase down, go get those. Boy. Yeah, but I don't want to talk too much about Destiny 2 because at the week of the 22nd, we'll be talking a lot about it on this show. Probably Moonpier and I will be talking a lot about
we'll see. I still need to get Galahon, dude. Like,
well, we've got a couple of weeks. Most of us, unfortunately, are kind of taking time off because this has been a 6-month season, so we're all sort of like, let's play other stuff because this is we're just waiting for the 22nd to roll around.
I still need to do my whatever the other achievement I need is. So waiting for a chance to do that. Not the Grandmaster Nightfall, just a regular Nightfall.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. We'll talk about that offline. We'll try and get that done for you. But that's all I'm playing this week. So let's take a break.
Yup.
Oh, goodness. What's the Nightfall this week?
This is how I can tell that my son is watching, because he sends me a text that just says PK Fire.
Real good.
Alright, I will be right back.
Sure. Let's check the news stories here real quick. Goodness, there's a lot. Fate Grand Order, no thanks. A man wearing a Sonic mask tried to rob a bank in Florida. That checks out.
Yep, thanks, Florida.
Sifu's early access release on PlayStation is kind of a mess. Yeah, that's been a bummer to see. One second. Kickstarter check-in. We'll talk about that during Children of Morta online co-op update coming soon. Oh, interesting. Final of 8 planned free updates to the game. Wow. Good on them. Another Fate Grand Order news story. Jeez. Itch.io's stance on NFTs. They are a scam. Good job, Itch.io.
Good. Thank you, Itch.
Man, not much else. Steam Deck looks like it's ramping up to release, which is nice.
That's the tablet-looking thing?
Yeah. Somebody posted a good picture of it this week next to a Vita, and it is monster.
I think that was
the Steam Deck
Jason
thing?
Schreier.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was Jason Schreier, and I think he made the joke that says it takes 16 AAA batteries, or AAAs.
Pretty good.
It looks like it.
All right. Are you guys ready to do the second segment?
Yep.
Yes.
When we get to the voicemail, I'll do like a 3, 2, 1, go countdown and just hit play when I say go.
Okay. Sorry, I just saw a meme which was it's the first month of 2020. Xbox now owns 2 of the PS1's most defining IPs in Crash and Spyro. And Sony now owns Bungie, the original studio behind Xbox's biggest IP.
Right.
What
is
you
reality?
guys have been crying about how you wanted Xbox games on PlayStation and PlayStation games on Xbox.
That's right.
Oh, we got it.
Right, there you go. Yeah. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of February 7th, 2022. Ollie Ollie World comes out. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series Console, Switch, and PC. If you haven't been keeping an eye on this is kind of like they're taking Ollie Ollie and moving it into like a semi-open world kind of quest story-based thing. Early previews have been surprisingly pretty good on this.
I was looking at the TA review for it, and they seem pretty solid on it.
Yeah, it seems like I think a lot of people that were maybe frustrated by the first 2 games being kind of a level-based thing, seems like this might be a little bit more friendly for people, that you can choose paths and you can choose which quests you want to move on and stuff like that. Feyrer in chat says, what is Ollie Ollie? The first 2 games were side-scrolling, skateboarding, like difficult platformer things.
Kind of like runners, like it was constantly going.
Yeah, like a runner / trials kind of mashup, like that kind of level of difficulty. They were cool things that I kind of bounced off of because of the difficulty, but I know they clicked with a lot of people. Sifu comes out on PS4, PS5, and PC. This is that sort of roguelike martial arts 2D beat 'em up isometric thing. Seems like it has a lot going on. It seems like reviews on this are way higher than I was expecting them to be. So I know it's having a little bit of a rough pre-order launch here on PlayStation, but it sounds like they're going to get that fixed up here pretty soon. Crossfire X is coming out on Xbox One and Series consoles. It's coming out on Game Pass day and date, as far as I can tell.
I think the thing coming out on Game Pass is the first 2 missions.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like
Weird.
a limited Game Pass release.
Oh, that's
thing.
weird.
That's
Okay.
weird.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen this, it's Crossfire X is fairly popular. It is a first-person shooter. It does have a campaign, but it seems like that's largely not the draw. And the kind of fast-paced, super cool multiplayer seems to be the thing that most people are playing.
This was essentially the Call of Duty for China for years and years and years. Crossfire was legitimately the biggest shooter on the planet. Mostly because it had the Asian market.
Yeah, for a good long time, yeah.
And from what if I memory serves, I believe the campaign is completely disassociated from this. The multiplayer is going to be free.
Oh, nice.
The campaign you have to purchase, and the campaign is also made by Remedy.
Yes,
so,
it is. Yes, it is. It is actually apparently. I think the thing that I'm seeing a lot from this game is it kind of harkens back to like Xbox and 360 kind of first-person shooters where it's not all about microtransactions and filling bars and stuff like that. Like it has kind of a fun shooter campaign. It has a cool, fast-paced multiplayer. Like it looks like a pretty cool thing. So go check it out. It is kind of the hottest thing. Next up, Edge of Eternity comes out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, Game Pass on day and date. If you couldn't guess it, it's a JRPG. Based on the title alone. Yeah, this was, I believe, a Kickstarter game. Kind of a small team. I was watching some videos about it this week because I feel like I have either haven't heard of it for long enough or I haven't heard of it before. This looks cool. This looks like a kind of it's evoking maybe homages to kind of classic Final Fantasy and maybe like the open world stuff of maybe like a Xenoblade. Sort of stuff. It does have
it's got like a weird tactical ATB battle system.
Yep. So. Yeah, it has like a like an open kind of ATB thing. Looks cool. It is a small team, so like don't go in expecting Final Fantasy VII remake graphics or anything. But it looks like a neat, cool thing. I want to give this a try because I feel like I feel like some of these like B game JRPGs tend to have really cool ideas in them where it's like, I have always wanted to make a JRPG that does this thing. It's like, all right, it may or may not work out, but like, yeah, man, like you gave it a shot. That's a cool thing.
Yeah.
So that's Edge of Eternity. Cardboard Kings comes out on PC. Cardboard is spelled with a K. This is a cool game that I just learned about this week. This is a game where you're running a card shop and you are collecting cards to go then sell them to like essentially Magic the Gathering players. So you're collecting these cards to then go sell them in your store. This is also like maybe a 2 or 3 person team. But I think this looks like running the store reminds me of Moonlighter in the way that people are kind of like wandering around the store and picking stuff up and bring them to the counter. So I don't know. This looks like a kind of a cool little thing that's coming out. That's Cardboard Kings with a K. Next game here needs some asterisks here.
Yeah, tell me about this big note you have here underneath this, please.
Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts is coming to the Switch. I just have a big note here that says beware. There's a couple things. So this includes 4 Kingdom Hearts games, which now means that's all like 15 Kingdom Hearts games. 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, and 3. So that if you ever wanted to play Kingdom Hearts, those are the 4 games you need that encompasses the entire thing.
2.5 and 2.8, huh?
And you should go play them because they're all really good. Like every single Kingdom Hearts game is really good. Number 1, it's $90. That's too much. The complete collection on PS4 is usually on sale for like $20. More importantly, this is a streaming only cloud version, and not like Cloud Strife. That would be great. But cloud is in the internet streaming onto your Switch.
Kingdom Hearts 1 is in it, dude. So Cloud Strife is in it.
That's true. So is Leon. Wink.
Wink.
So I usually try not to go into the releases section saying, hey, you probably shouldn't buy this thing. But you probably shouldn't buy this thing because it's sort of a bummer that Square couldn't get all of these games to run on the Switch, especially since a bunch of them ran on the PS2 and the PSP. So it understandably, Kingdom Hearts 3 would probably have to take a pretty massive graphical hit to run on the Switch, which is fine.
I think is that going to be the only reason why? Like, let's face it.
No, I think the only reason why is because I don't think, as an outsider and someone who isn't a game developer, they probably just didn't think the juice was worth the squeeze to port all of these games, like all 15 of these games, to Switch. I'm sure Kingdom Hearts 3 running on Unreal 4, I believe, probably not the biggest problem porting that over. Well, of course you got squash bugs and whatnot. But I bet the rest of it was just like, hey, running these things on the Switch is proving to be more problematic than expected. So let's run them in the cloud, and you can pay $90 to not play a game at some point when they turn these servers off next year. So
I was gonna say, because you're seeing a lot of developers, a lot of people doing this now, where it's like, oh, it's streaming only, and it's like, why
Dying Light
bother
2?
putting it on the Switch then?
Yeah, like Dying Light 2
it's a system that can't run it. Why?
Yeah, like it can't even run SMT5. Like, you're gonna put Dying Light 2 on there? Like, just don't put it on there, man. Like, you don't. I don't know. It's a real bummer.
You know why? It's because of the next news story, or the one after that.
Well, yeah. I think it's a real bummer because I think it would be nice if all of the Kingdom Hearts games were on Switch, because it's nice to say, hey, if you have a PS4 or a PS5, you can play all of them. It would be nice to say, hey, if you have a Switch, you can play all of the Kingdom Hearts games. That would be great, because I think more people should check out the series overall, but not as a cloud version. Like that just
would
sucks.
be great, but it would also be like releasing these games on the Game Boy Advance and being like, yeah, it'd be great to play all of them on here.
Yeah.
It's like,
it would be great if all of the 6 of the Pixel remasters would be on home consoles.
Yeah.
That would be great. Wink. Lastly here, we have Lost Ark is coming to the West on PC. Amazon is publishing this one. We haven't heard of Lost Ark. This is a very famous MMO that's been hugely popular in the rest of the world for quite a long time. Kind of like a top-down, isometric-y, Diablo-style hack-and-slash loot MMO. Everybody that plays it seems to really love it. And I guess if you're looking to scratch that itch and Path of Exile is free, and that's a problem, I guess you can play Lost Ark. But I won't be. Destiny 2 comes out too soon. I can't hop into another live service MMO thing. Please Amazon.
Destiny 2 comes out soon?
I have a family. Most importantly, first off, Horizon Forbidden West comes out. That's the next thing that is.
And then 2 days later,
it's 4 days. I have 4 days to finish this 200-hour game. Challenge accepted. All right, moving on to news stories. I'm glad we talked about the fiercely independent Bungie studio last week, because certainly nothing big has happened. Wait, I'm getting a memo. Sony Interactive Entertainment has purchased Bungie for $3.6 billion.
It looks like the predictions effect is going to happen all throughout this year.
100%.
I'm pretty sure in my predictions, I was like, yeah, Microsoft's maybe got 1 or 2 small studios in them left.
Yeah.
And then, like, literally last week, you were like, yeah, Bungie's not going to sell to anybody.
Bungie's not interested in... Wait, I'm hearing something? Yeah. This one's really interesting. SIE purchased for $3.6 billion. Bungie will continue to remain independent and self-publish both Destiny and their next IP. It's codenamed Matter. And both Bungie and SAE have emphatically stated over and over again they're not going to be making anything Destiny or Matter platform exclusive. They're not, like, pulling Destiny 2 off of Xbox and Stadia at any point. They're not doing any of that stuff, which is leading a lot of people to say, oh, well, why did you buy Bungie then? Which is a very good question. And a couple days later, Sony said, "Hey, with Bungie's help, like the next 5 years, we're going to launch 10 live service games. So look forward to that." So it turns out a lot of what they're looking for Bungie from Bungie's purchase is, hey, you guys figured out how to make a secretly wildly successful live service game. How can we do that same thing for a lot of other stuff? Because a lot of people,
we'll see.
A lot of people are coming out and saying, oh, dead game, Destiny 2, I never played Destiny 2, it's garbage. But Tom Warren, I don't remember where he works, Windows Central maybe, gathered the numbers of players who were playing on Monday before the announcement was made. Like we were talking about in the first segment, there's nothing going on in Destiny right now. There's been nothing going on in Destiny for months. There were 835,000 people playing, individual players, on just a regular Monday. It's not even a reset day. And Bungie also posted that over 1 million people have pre-ordered The Witch Queen. So if you're looking for a live service game that has been quietly very successful and you can't buy Fortnite, I think Bungie is probably the next logical purchase for you. I think the other thing that...
is probably the Tom Warren over at The Verge, by the way.
The Verge, thank you. That's right. I think the other thing that people are missing too is Bungie has been very loudly hiring for movies and TV. They are looking to, like we're seeing with League of Legends sort of recently, they're looking to extend Destiny into sort of multimedia stuff. And boy, wouldn't you look at it, they have a TV and movie studio right there to publish all that stuff. Oh, strange. Huh. Interesting. Weird. So it seems like it's one of those things where it doesn't seem like either Bungie or Sony get much out of the deal in the short term. But in the long term, $3.6 billion is probably a really good deal. And $1.2 billion of that goes to employee retention as well, which is great.
I did also enjoy that at the end of their announcement that Sony also stated, "Stay tuned for more acquisitions."
Yeah, we're going to keep this train rolling. It's just like, okay. I thought it was also really interesting that both Sony and Bungie, because everybody's like, well, you just scooped them up because of the Activision thing. And Sony and Bungie is like, we've been talking for like 6 months. Like this doesn't... Activision, I've never heard of her. Like that doesn't have anything to deal with.
That is the funny thing, that I've heard a lot of people complaining about. It's like, well, Sony just bought them because Microsoft just bought Activision, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And it's like, that's not how acquisitions work. This isn't just something that Sony just shows up Monday and Tuesday, they've already bought them. This is like
exactly.
been in talks forever now.
Right. Yeah. They didn't just like back up a truck full of billions of dollars to Seattle and just say like, we're buying you, just come on and get in the car, loser, we're going. It's pretty surprising. That whole thing is pretty surprising, but I feel like everybody in Sony and Bungie seem like they feel pretty positively about it, so we'll see. And I guess the countdown timer now is what's the over-under on when Bungie leaves SIE as well.
Oh yeah, how long does that employment retention deal last?
2 years,
3 years?
I don't know. That seems to be the big thing. But next news story, the other big acquisition this week, maybe unexpectedly, the New York Times buys Wordle. So they bought it for, quote, low 7 figures, end quote. If you haven't heard the developer of Wordle's name before, his name is Josh Wardle, which is really great that Josh Wardle made Wordle. But I didn't know the history of Wordle, which is he made it for his partner who just really likes word games, and now he gets paid over $1 million from the New York Times to not have to run Wordle anymore, which...
Good.
Go get paid, dude. Like, I am I'm very happy that this dude cashed out at like the highest popularity that Wordle is at, because most
The
of
clones just started.
the mobile clones, like the App Store clones, just got squashed, which means everybody who isn't the New York Times is looking to start ramping up their own web version of this, and like it's gonna start naturally tapering off, and some of the clones will pull it out. So I would have also 100% taken this money, given them the keys, and been like, peace. See you later. You guys can run this thing. Yeah.
But now the crap part is that they own it.
Yeah, and their statement is, quote, at the time it moves to New York Times, Wordle will be free to play for new and existing players, or will be initially free to play for new and existing players, and no changes will be made to its gameplay, end quote. So it's sort of like, I appreciate your honesty, I guess, that you're just like, I mean, it's free for now.
Yeah.
But like,
to be honest, like, don't get me wrong, it sucks that the giant corporation will own it. Whatever. As far as I'm concerned, good, because isn't this the American dream? You work hard enough, you do something that nobody else is doing, and you get paid big for it.
You get your startup acquired.
Is he American though? I thought he was British.
I have no idea.
No idea. But
I thought that was why it was tied to a UK.
Oh yeah, because it is a .uk. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's fine. Get paid, dude. Like,
but I mean, honestly, too, everyone in the world just learned that the dude's last name was Wordle, like what, a week ago? So.
Yeah, pretty recently. Yeah, it is a little tough because I feel like the New York Times will probably take care of Wordle. I think Wordle will end in 7 years, just sort of naturally due to how many 5-letter words there are in the English language. So they will take care of Wordle. I'm sure they'll do some improvements onto it, and like the crossword puzzle, it will probably go behind a paywall at some point, or like some features of
New York Times app.
Right, or like some features of it will be only available. I'm sure the first feature will be, hey, if you're subscribed to our like game subscription service, because they have a bunch of games they own, you can play past Wordles, sort of defeating the purpose, but that's probably an easy thing for them to do immediately.
Or they just add like hints that you pay for, or if you're a subscriber, you get free hints or whatever.
Yeah, the pretty common stuff. So I can see them doing that, and that's fine. Get paid and get out, Josh Wardle.
Yeah.
That's the dream, like Moon said. Moving to the next news story here, Yacht Club Games announces Mina the Hollower. If you don't remember Yacht Club Games, they developed Shovel Knight and all like 45 DLC packs that came out for that. I'm gonna put the trailer here on the live stream just in case anybody hasn't seen it yet. But they are essentially making like a Game Boy Color Zelda game where you're a mouse or a rat that can tunnel under the ground, and kind of use that to get around puzzles, fight bosses, stuff like that. It looks incredibly good. The same composer is back for the soundtrack, which sounds incredibly good. I think the thing that's was a little bit initially surprising is that this is a game that's on Kickstarter. They pretty freely admit that they don't need Kickstarter for this one because Shovel Knight was a runaway success. But it largely seems like this is a good opportunity for people to get like physical rewards and stuff like that for this game. So
I'm not gonna lie, if you didn't say that they were making it now, looking at it, I would have figured it was a SNES game that came out in the 90s.
Yeah, because it seems like they're taking the Game Boy Color or Zelda Oracles games as kind of their like primary inspiration for these, and it very much looks like those. Like for me, that's a selling point. But it looks really good. I don't think they have any release date or release window for this quite yet, but obviously the Kickstarter has been wildly successful, and it's like doubled its its goal already. So mostly want to talk about that because Yacht Club Games makes cool stuff. So I'm excited to see them kind of make another thing and hopefully kind of put Shovel Knight behind them, because it feels like they've been working on those stretch goals for like 17 years. So hopefully they're all done with that.
Yeah, coming from us fans of Isaac.
Right. Quick news story: the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo. I'm very tired today. Nintendo put out a one of their earnings reports. Says that the Switch has outsold the Wii. The Wii ended up selling 101 million units. The Switch is now up to 103 million units. Surprising to find out the next one that's in its sights is the PS4 at 116 million units. And it's getting closer to the best-selling console of the time, the PS2, at 155 million units, which is... that's staggering that sold that many. 155 is just so crazy. They also put out the top 10 of the best-selling games for the Wii. I just have the top 3. Number 3, Smash Bros. Ultimate at 27.4 million. Animal Crossing New Horizons at 37.62 million. Number 1, unsurprisingly, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 43.35 million copies. That's almost a 50% attach rate, which is insane. Like, that's just... Gosh, good for Microsoft. Good for Microsoft too. Good for Microsoft for the Switch's popularity. What's wrong with me? All right, our last news story here. There's a report coming out that Google is quietly... People are saying that they're dropping the Stadia. That's not technically true. I've been saying that
is heading in that direction.
Well, that's for sure. That's the next step. But what they're doing first is they're changing Stadia's focus. Looks like they're kind of migrating it from being just a gaming-focused platform, as it was, to integrate more with larger companies. I didn't realize this, but Google has already partnered with Peloton, the bike company, to create a streaming game on bikes, which I guess is already live. So some of this technology, the Google Stream technology, is kind of already out there and being utilized in the wild.
All that means is one cult is getting together with another cult, so they can bring two cults together, the Peloton and the Google cult.
Yeah, mergers and acquisitions. That's the name of the game this year, right? The other company that's looking at using it is Bungie. We're sort of bookending the news stories with Bungie here. Bungie is in talks with Google about creating a Destiny streaming platform, which Tom Warren's numbers this week show that no matter how my voice makes the sound, I'm not being sarcastic. Destiny 2 is a wild success on Stadia, at running at about 5,800 people playing on that day alone. Of course, that pales in comparison to like the 400,000 people playing on both PS5 and Xbox. But Stadia has always been really good for Bungie. And I think that's an interesting way of rebranding Stadia, just to say like, yeah, you can play Destiny on, your PS4, your Xbox, your PC, or you can stream Destiny from anywhere. Because the Stadia technology works really well. And it works really well for Destiny. So curious to see if that will surface anything, or if they'll just use a super robust and mature PS Now technology to run that. Oof, that'd be a real winner. All right,
PlayStation hasn't been threatening to cancel Now.
That's true. Although I don't know if you guys have seen over the last couple weeks, like PS4 games in the trophy list have been mistakenly listed as PS3 games. And then like someone will point it out on Twitter, and then like a couple minutes later they're back to PS4 games. Everyone's like, what's what's going on there, Sony? And they're like, what? Who? What? Never mind.
Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
Ignore me. Yeah, so a lot of it has been like, yeah, that's Spartacus sort of leaking out a little bit, huh? Right? Is that that's how it's going? Yeah.
Yeah, it could be that. It could also be them switching everything, because aren't they using Microsoft's
Azure
server structure? Yeah, the
Yeah.
Azure backend. So I wonder if it's a transfer over to that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or both. Yeah. I don't know.
I know I had an issue a while ago where I turned on my PS3 and then all of my PlayStation 4 games wouldn't show up on my trophy list anymore.
Great.
Which that scared me for a minute. As much as I don't care about trophies, what I earned, I would like to keep.
Yeah, like it would be a little surprising and kind of a bummer if they were just all gone. Yeah. All right, let's wrap up this this episode with a very special voicemail here from our captive audience, Clarissa. She sent us a voicemail here that I am going to play, and my co-hosts are going to play at the same time in 3, 2, 1, go.
Sunny salutations, my spectacularly sterling TVGP community.
That's us.
Oh, considering this cacophonous cavalcade of clustered congruent consonants, one could only correctly conclude that it's the community's captive companion, Clarissa Michelle Chain. I know it's a bit late, but it is still January, and I'd very much like to make just one, prediction for 2022. I predict TVGP will finally hit their $250 monthly goal on Patreon.
That's right.
Which is good, because Boston will be spending a lot of that on bleach for his drawers when he starts playing spooky stuff.
That's also right.
Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers, people. If I can be a patron in prison, you can do it too. I mean the patron part. Don't do the prison part. It really is the worst. I believe in you, people. Be good and be blessed, everybody. I love you all. Clarissa out.
Thank you very much, Clarissa, for sending in that voicemail. Super appreciate it. Also, Fayror in chat sort of explained how that voicemail got over to us, and that's kind of a cool way around tech that I really appreciate. So thank you again for sending us a voicemail from prison. That's really great. And yes, it would be really great if you get us closer to that $250 goal. Thank you for Fayror in chat for doing ! Patreon. You can go sign up at patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones on the buzz are.
That's right. You can get all the cool stuff we talked about at the top of the show. Get all the behind the scenes, early access, all of that stuff for just $5 a month. Anything you want to pay above and beyond that would be really great. Remember, tell your super rich friend. Get us to the $250 goal. That's all the stuff you get. It helps me pay for the show. If you want to see the breakdown of all the software we pay for and the hosting and the 3 different types of hosting we use to keep the show up and available for all of you fine listeners, all that stuff is sort of budgeted out on the Patreon page. And if you can't support us financially, totally understand. You can share the show with your friends. Rate it 5 stars wherever you listen to. Let us know if we're not where you listen. I think we just got added to Amazon Podcasts, I believe, like a week ago or so. So they're sort of indexing the show. If you want to listen to that on your Alexa or Echo device, I think you might be able to do that now, which is wild to think about. But if you like the show and you have some friends that you think would like the show as well, share. Word of mouth is the biggest thing that helps any podcast or YouTube channel or whatever. That's the thing that really genuinely does help. Rating us 5 stars helps for discovery, which does help quite a bit. But telling your friends how much you like the show helps a whole ton.
Yeah, it does.
And you can visit us at tvgp.tv. Everywhere else to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page, including the link to the Discord server. I know the merch page has been down for a while because Teespring decided to rebrand and sell NFTs, which means I pulled all the stuff off of that storefront. I have found a replacement. I have gotten the first sticker in, and I am happy about the how it came out. It's like a nice die-cut sticker. It's like 5.5 inches wide, so it's a pretty good size. So I'll be slowly adding stuff to that storefront, and once all that stuff's ready, then start sending that stuff out. So soon you'll be able to purchase most of the merch that was there. Some of the stuff's going to get retired because it's not the year 2020 anymore. So we gotta retire a certain shirt that maybe is about your local candidates. I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week.
Who knows?
Bye.
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 Oh man. Okay. Nymph. Titles, please.
I'm a pirate. Arr. I'm 40. Leave me alone.
That's big 2022 vibes right there.
Yeah.
The Eagler. It hurts me fingers. Tony Bark. Chickaboo. Leave the hinterlands. And catch the cute sheep.
All right, Moon, what do you have?
Home-related nightmares. 2 human idiots. Paint and release. Get better scrub. Smash legs and Chickaboo.
I have I'm still in the Citadel. I'm 40, leave me alone. The Eagler, it hurts me fingers, and Chickaboo. Now that we've said Chickaboo a lot, I need to Google.
If it's something awesome.
Or if it's something like horribly racist. Seems like there's an English rapper named MC Chickaboo.
Cool.
Get that good SEO.
Yo.
Yeah, it doesn't look like looks like there was a toy in the 70s that I recognize. Yeah, I don't think I see anything that's offensive that I can tell.
No.
Yeah, I don't. Someone that's your close friend. Yeah,
I mean,
it seems fine.
If we have to scroll this far to figure out if it's horribly racist or not, it's not something that's really being used.
Yeah, and if it is, someone let us know, and I will just change the episode. Okay, so that's clearly on our short list.
Yeah, there's a Pinterest person who goes by that name. So
yeah,
would you just change the episode title to 746 redacted?
That's right. File not found. I also like It Hurts Me Fingers. I think I would normally pick Leave the Hinterlands, but I believe that was an episode title already back when Dragon Age Inquisition came out. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that we already used that.
When you said it, I was like, oh man, that is still a good saying that has just developed.
Yeah, just leave the first area. You can go back.
All you have to do is say that, and everyone who's played a video game instantly knows what you were talking about.
Yep. Yeah. I'm trying to search and see if TVGP Hinterlands. Yeah, maybe we didn't actually. That's surprising. Oh, okay, I guess we didn't use that already. Weird. That is surprising. Alright, anything you guys are... Now that we've looked up to make sure that nothing is terrible?
I'm fine with Chickaboo.
Yeah, we can do that one.
Okay. Circling that.
And then you can tell your daughter, hey, you got a title in this week.
That's right.
How would you feel about manning the board?
That's right. Would you like to be a moderator in chat?
Yeah.
All right. Let me know when you guys are ready. That's a head scratcher.
I got one. It's not great, but I got one.
Yeah, I got something.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 746 for February 7th, 2022. Chickaboo.
I choose you.
Oh,
This seems like a ripoff from some app.
right. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We appreciate it. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.